There we go. So, April 27th, 2026. Let's break these energies down. I'm going to try my best to not be long-winded, but I want y'all to understand every aspect of what's happening. All right, so here we go. So, the sun, which represents God's wants, and how God wants you to go about the things that you want, right? Because the sun is the light. So everything that we see, we can see our actions. We can see other people's actions, right? And our actions show how you can see how you're going about. So you can see the intent in a person, place, or a thing by the way in which it displays its actions. There we go. So if that's the case, being as though you can somewhat determine the intent, or you can summarize a person or a thing's intention by how they're doing things. You can kind of summarize that and say that the sun represents the wants. The moon is always going to represent your needs, because moon represents what's going on inside of you for you to feel comfortable in every way, shape, or form. It's your true state of being, right? So whenever the moon rolls over into a new sign or a new chakra, a new position in the sky, mind you, these are God's lights. We live inside of God's body. Every read, I have to make that a thing, because if I don't, you're not going to understand the overall concept. You're not going to get it. You're not going to receive it. I want you to receive it that way, so that way you can put that into perspective in your daily actions, and when you meditate, you'll have a concept of how these energies are working around you, and what your actions, what's happening around you, like how everything just plays a fucking part. You understand what I'm saying? Because every little thing plays a part in this circle of life, so to speak, right? Everything plays a little part, but you can see the intention, you can see the divine intention in every little nook and cranny if you pay attention, right? And that's a good, and the way that I'm explaining this to you is a perfect representation of where the moon is in right now. The moon is in Virgo. The moon is in Virgo. I did another video on Virgo, talking about Virgo, but where it applies to the energies today, Virgo represents mutable earth. I like to call mutable earth, mutated earth, multiple earth. So earth in astrology, divination, and metaphysics, earth represents left brain, thinking, concepts. But unlike air, where it's kind of up in the air and it's involving hyperactive thoughts, right? These are thoughts that are more geared towards, and concepts and constructs more geared towards practicality, and how one goes about making something practical. So similar to air signs, earth signs are still very heady, still very intellectual, still very logic first driven. But unlike an air sign, where they can kind of just move off of the construct in of itself, earth signs need for these concepts to be tangible in some way, shape, or form. Even if it's just a concept, they still want it, or they still need it to be digestible. You understand what I'm saying? So if it was in the sun, anytime you're looking at a sun sign, this is something where this is a person, place, or thing that needs for, that wants for it to look a certain way. Wants. When it is in the moon, these are your needs. And why do you need it? You need it in order to feel stable. You need it in order to feel secure, to feel comfortable on the inside before you even push it out for others to feel, for others to experience. Before I make you experience something, I have to first dish it out. You don't experience a punch if I don't actually throw it at you. And I'm not going to throw a punch at you without me thinking about it first. I mean, some people do, but that might be the difference between a water sign, an air sign, an earth sign, and so on and so forth, right? So I needed to break that down for you so that way y'all could understand moving forward. So let's go back to the actual astrology piece, right? So now we're looking at, again, you're looking at the sun, and then you're looking at the moon. If the sun is how God is projecting the things that you want, because these are actions, right? And that is now in Taurus. You're looking at stability. You're looking at, but this is a person's wants. So God wants you to project the things that you want right now. And how does he want you to go about projecting the things that you want? Project how you want stability. Project the things that already stabilize you. And also involve the people, places, and things that have to do with your stability. And also look at the moon and then apply the moon. So the moon, which is also in Earth, which is Virgo, so this is double Earth, which is a trine. The Virgo piece is asking for you to internally keep in mind that I have to go about my internal feelings in a very detail-oriented way, because that's how Virgos are mutable. Virgos are mutable, and they mutate their way on the thinking and practicality, but utilizing it towards Mercury, utilizing it towards the connectivity between places, people, places, and things, which is networking. But it's the intricities of it. It's not like Gemini, where it's the thoughtful when you see somebody, or you see somebody utilizing networking in active form. But this is a person who will go about each intricate detail to bring about a network, like an employee who does all of this intricate research. So on the inside of yourself and in the internal, and everything's dealing with your intimate and your delicate needs, whether it be a spouse, whether it be your kids, or whatever is inside of you that needs to that needs intense focus and needs to be searched with a fine-tooth comb. You do that. You do whatever you need to do, however intricately it takes, however whatever nook and cranny you need to search through to bring about this goal or this concept, in order to bring this network together, in order to bring this building together, in order to make everything work to its greatest goods. You go through each nook and cranny, you floss each tooth, you make sure that you do whatever it needs to be done, however many hands you need to create. And it will look like an octopus hand type of thought process. But other than Gemini, where it's a literal octopus hands, where this person is like here and there, and this person needs to go within and use their mind, but make it make sense. Let me search through all of my notebooks. Let me use however many textbooks are required for me to get this this final product out of the way. So again, so going back to the astrology piece again, just to be clear. So the moon right now wants for you to go within. Make sure you do all the fine-tooth combing and detailing work before you push out the things that you want to help your stability. Understood? And that's pretty much the sun and the moon right now. Sun in Taurus, moon in Virgo. Hopefully I explained that hopefully I explained that well. I'm kind of, as you can see, Virgo is working in me right now because it's a lot of things that I'm trying to break down. It's like I'm searching through so many different words to try to perfectly convey an overall message to you, you know. But that's how deep it can really get. Try not to get but so deep. If you already have high Virgo placements and high Taurus placements, try not to get too deep about the materialistic things that you need and that you want right now. Try to just carry these things out, but don't think too hard about it, because it can kind of jumble you up right now, you know. And that is literally if you're in conjuncted energy or in trined energy right now, because you can have with my man Flight Boss, Billo the Pilot Man, he likes to call it the cup runneth over. You know, it will literally be like that. It'll be a situation where you're fulfilling the energy, but you're fulfilling it so much to whereas you might be adding a little bit too extra, you know, and it can actually cause a confusing or some type of catastrophic moment that you really don't want, you know. So take your time, make what you're doing, make it make sense, you know, but don't kill yourself too much. Don't kill yourself too much. So again, as I close out this dissertation one more time, Sun in Taurus, moon in Virgo. The sun is projecting that it wants you to project the things that you care about, dealing with stability and your admiration for the people, places, and things that help bring stability to your life, aka Taurus, fixated earth. And then the moon, God's moon, is projecting that it wants you to go inside and with a fine-tooth comb go through each detail, each nook and damn cranny that you need to go through, however gut-wrenching it is, however dark it needs to get for you to flip through each page, each word, each sentence, each period, each da-da-da, for you to feel comfortable enough pushing out a finished product. And there you have it, Sun in Taurus, moon in Virgo. If you have any questions, like, share, and subscribe. Please comment a question if you need to.